Okay, so
Yeah.
so thank you.
Hi,
Barbara.
Hi. How are
Ms.
you?
Kopple. Good. How are you? I ran into you very.
Am I Ms. Kopple these days or Barbara?
Barbara. Absolutely. And I saw you for a second, like at Doc NYC, where you were, screening Sharon Jones, and you were.
Could it be in the hall?
Might be. She's such a great sound person, so she's listening through headphones too. I'm going to give you the play-by-play. Barbara's going out of her way to silence the area. Yeah, willfully lost. I mean, or just sort of given into being lost. I don't know.
Right.
There it was this sort of defeat mind frame for a little while, and then I admire those who were really early on, just saying, no, we're going to step up, and now we really have. Those of us who passively maybe appreciated the last 8 years now can't be complacent. We have to be activists, and we have to say no to every step of the way. Resist every step of the way.
Everything.
Everything.
And talk to everybody, no matter
right.
where you are, about what's happening and what you're learning and everything.
And my own neutral, prone type of personality with not wanting to offend listeners that might be more conservative. This isn't even an issue of conservative versus liberal. This is like a freedom versus survival and freedom and all the the basic civil rights and civility, and so if you have a problem, then don't listen. But anyway, well, the other disappointment was I was so sure my kid who's turning 13 shortly. Jacob, he had as far back as he can remember a president that he can be proud of, and that kind of looked like him too. And then I figured, okay, the next 4 to 8 years, he's going to grow up without, like, I grew up with Nixon, is my first president I remember, and then Reagan and all these horrible, horrible politicians.
I had Carter.
But I had Carter too, but, that was nice. Anyhow, I'm adrift, but...
But being adrift is okay, because it brings you back.
It does. It does. Because, I've been thinking...
What does he say, the 13-year-old?
Does
he realize there's a difference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that, he's just on the cusp of understanding the political weight and meaning of what's going on, and he's slow to emerge in terms of his personality into a politically minded individual, meaning realizing the world around him and how he's affected by it.
He can make a difference.
And that would be great to know that he feels that. I don't know that he's gone there, that he too can make a difference. But why
don't you bring him to Harlan County, see what he thinks?
That's a good idea. That's a nice idea.
And he has music after.
Yeah. Well, because when you were talking about it, we weren't like really mic'd. So let's talk about it real briefly again. Metrograph, I think I read 4 screenings, but I'm going to confirm that.
Oh, there are 4 screenings. I thought you meant I had 4 screens all at one time.
Oh.
No, it's 4 screenings.
That would exist in Kopple land, which,
Kopple
it's like
dreams.
Dollywood or something. Yeah.
And Kopple has lots of dreams.
Oh, that's right. So they're going to have 4 screenings at the
Metrograph.
At the Metrograph,
6 Ludlow Street.
Are they showing it on as one?
They're showing Harlan County, USA,
right? Which is your landmark, your big,
my first
feature. Which
my
remember you talked
film.
about that on the last time you're on, which was my 200th episode. I saved you for the big show. Now we're approaching 400. I can't wait for that, though.
You do a lot of work.
Well, look who's talking. I wrote down just a few recent projects of yours. But I would hold on to it for the 400th. It would make sense to do that, but I can't because that's like a month away or 2 months away. I'm not going to hold on to it. I want to help promote your new film, which is called This Is Everything, Gigi Gorgeous. So 4 screenings. Are they projecting any of them?
Yeah, I think it's 35 millimeter.
So they're not going to show it at the same time. Obviously, they have to.
Right.
They're going to show the 35 millimeter print.
Yes.
And then I did a whole thing last night on film restoration and preservation. I moderated this panel that I put together.
Oh, how cool. Where was that?
It was at BRIC, which is this arts and media center in downtown Brooklyn. And I had somebody from MoMA, somebody from Janus Films, Ben Crossley-Mara. I had Katie Trainer from MoMA, and I had someone from Soneric, an actual technician.
Is BRIC torn?
Is it?
Who runs it?
It's run, but it's a nonprofit, which is run out of, which is its own thing. It's it's right around the corner. You know, it's right next door to BAM's, that theater they have on Fulton. You know, this beautiful opera house, which they redid about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah. So it's right on Flatbush and Fulton, right by there. And it's this great place, but, you know, I hesitate to say that not enough people know about it, but that is the case. And so I did this. They have this series called Brickflix, and they just have a different event every month on film. And they asked me to do one, and I thought film restoration and preservation is something I like to talk about. So I put this thing together, and we had a nice turnout.
Oh, that's pretty cool. They used to have somewhere there, maybe it was Williamsburg, I don't know, like a living room kind of situation.
Oh,
and
like
and you just sat on these really comfortable seats and talked with people, and then whoever was going to do a panel or show a film came in. It was really nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
I don't know if it's still there.
It takes away that kind of austere division between
you and them.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And the new project.
This is everything.
Gigi Gorgeous is kind of keeps in a way it's sort of still, I think, right in line with a lot of your past work, even though it's also another dimension to it. Takes on like all new technology and very new subject matter, between the fact that this is now about this huge celebrity who just happens to be someone who transitioned, and also that you're having this.
Well, a huge celebrity on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which is its own world.
It's true, but still is a huge celebrity.
Huge celebrity.
She's got like 7 million followers, which is just a little more than Filmwax has.
Well, we have to get Filmwax up there.
Please.
10 million.
So you'll have to co-host every episode. Or Gigi, one of.
I think Gigi.
And the other thing that is worth mentioning, even though we did have a limited theatrical, which only you could pull off, but it's premiering digitally on YouTube Red, which is their
YouTube
platform.
Red, February 8th.
Right. So it's currently there. So as soon as you finish listening to this, go over to YouTube Red and watch This Is Everything.
But it's also showing at film festivals, and for me, I love the live events.
I know you do.
I just think it's so much fun, and you really see what people are thinking and feeling, and I love them.
And you engage with everybody. You
talk to them.
You must love doing that, because I mean,
when it was showing here, I would go and I would ask them why they came, and after it, what they got from it, and you learn so much. It's so wonderful.
And it was Gigi. Does she go by that name?
She goes by Gigi Gorgeous.
But even in like personal.
In her personal life. Well, Gigi Lazzarato,
which is her
name.
Born right. Yeah. She's born. Was it Greg?
Greg
Lazzarato.
Greg Ellen Lazzarato.
Right.
But her name was changed to
Canada.
Gigi.
In Ontario, where is she?
Toronto.
In Toronto. A little background, I guess. If you want to interrupt, please correct me or
interrupt you.
Expand. I love being interrupted by Barbara or expand on things. But was a Olympics-bound driver. I mean, incredible. I mean, the very beginning you see is incredible, right?
You see Greg Lazzarato, who just really learned discipline, and he won the nationals and in Canada, and he was headed for the Olympics, but something wasn't right, and he was really depressed. So he went on YouTube and started doing makeup instructionals under the name of Greg Gorgeous. And he did very well. He came out. His mom died during that period. And that's when he decided that life was too short and he wanted to be a girl. and he transitioned and he became Gigi Gorgeous, and he got tremendous support from his family, his brothers, the father, who was very conservative and really didn't understand it, but if that's what she wanted, that's what he was going to do, and it was very moving. And the film is about love.
It's
and
true.
What happens when we support each other, even if we're not quite clear what's going on.
Yeah.
How important that is. And,
Unconditional love it's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
And
and also in a time too when there isn't much love. There's a lot of hate and a lot of hate groups and a lot of discontent, and people are very scared. So when something comes out that's full of love, I think it just helps tremendously.
The surprise in terms of transitioning was the father, because he transitioned too.
Yeah, it's about both. It's the father and Gigi transitioning together.
Exactly. It's a powerful thing, and to see that love conquering pettier issues, and
she's so beautiful. I mean, she's
a stunner, really.
Gorgeous inside and out. When she comes into a room, it's like sunshine. Mm-hmm. And, every time I see her, she just puts her arms around me and hugs me and makes me feel so good.
How did you meet?
Well, her managers thought that this would be great to have a documentary about her. And so they got a long list of directors, and somehow my name was picked, and they called me up and said, we have a film we'd love you to do. It's about Gigi Gorgeous, and you want to come meet her. And I said, okay, absolutely. We met each other, and we loved each other from the start.
Are you always, or have you learned to, or were you always somebody who just was open to any possible story? Like if somebody comes along, I know I have to constantly remind myself to not, put up a certain prejudice about anything, like a film, the way it's being marketed maybe just pushes me, but I have realized, but if you don't give yourself the opportunity to give it a chance and to really absorb it, you're not, you might miss out on something that's a really positive experience.
Yes. I mean, I don't want to miss out on anything.
You don't.
No, I love life. I love meeting people. I love being able to tell their stories.
But you only have so much time to tell, any stories, and there's a finite number of stories anyone could tell.
Well,
so
it's
you
not
have
as
to
if people are lined up. Do the story, do the story.
They're lined up.
Story, but they're just. I love doing stories about people, and even if they're different from each other, it's still going to be a wonderful story. It's going to be who they are. It's going to be what they are, and that's how I look at it.
Gigi, even though it's true we're going through a rather complicated period right now, to say the least, but at the same time, in terms of her age and the time,
she's 24 now.
She's 24. She's kind of lucky. A generation ago, this would have been a far more. We certainly have stories of people that transitioned.
No, but she was 14 when she started.
Yeah.
But she didn't transition until she was about 19.
And that goes on to a slightly more broader conversation, which is she first identified as gay, and she would have said he came out as gay. Then the identity issue actually became more. She understood her identity more, and what she was really feeling, or was able to articulate it anyway, was that she was always felt she was a girl. So it's the transition is really identity more than it is anything physical. Or
there's more.
Go talk. What is it?
No, she's a lesbian.
Okay,
she has a girlfriend.
She does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nat Getty is her name, and they're inseparable, joined at the hip.
So she wasn't necessarily a gay boy.
And in fact, sometimes on the red carpet, she'll pull Nats up on the red carpet with her, and they'll just start kissing each other. So the photographers will be filming them kissing.
She's a natural. She understands how to use
the media.
Media for sure. But then if you rethink, so maybe she was never a gay male, maybe she was always a female attracted to women, and that's interesting.
No, she had a boyfriend.
She did.
Yes.
And
she was really excited.
Okay.
He was a burly guy. He had been in the military, and he loved her.
Right. I do remember.
He
it's in the
loved
film.
her for who she was.
Right.
So she had her first boyfriend.
Yeah.
And now her first girlfriend.
Okay. So
she's coming on up the ropes. She's learning it all. But it's much more than that. I mean, she's a person really who helped out thousands and thousands of people on her YouTube page. And when they felt that they were lonely and nobody liked them and bullied them, she was the one that would connect them. She would tell her stories, or she would allow them to tell their stories, and they talked on YouTube about so many different issues, and she made them feel as if they weren't alone, and she probably saved many, many lives doing that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. She's inspired by people. She loves people. She would do meet and greets and really talk to people and tell them how beautiful they were and how wonderful they were.
She understands the impact of what she's doing and how important it is, and she doesn't take it for granted. That's what it sounds like. She really appreciates.
She's really sincere.
Yeah.
And she really cares. Plus, she's 24 and full of youth and love and lust, and likes to party and go to bars, and just a regular person.
Yeah. There's a number of
who has a heart of gold.
Yeah, there's a number of public appearances we see in the film too, where you actually can see that these teenagers or young people who once they connect with her really could become very emotional.
Oh, they're crying and happy and just can't believe that they're with her. Yeah. And sometimes even in the street, people yell, "Gigi, Gigi!" It's wonderful.
Yeah, in Toronto, for instance, or
Toronto,
wherever,
New York, even.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 7 million listeners, they're going to be all over. It's very true.
L.A.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be that a young person who maybe felt like they were an outsider, whether they were gay or maybe something more complicated, if they didn't have the words for it, and now at least we have the words for it.
She's totally proud of who she is and what she is.
Years ago, the only option would be to try to save your money and get on that bus and go to the biggest city like New York or wherever, because you were not going to survive anywhere else. But through social media,
or be a designer under the covers of your bed in Kansas, right?
Yeah.
And pretend you were going to basketball.
Right.
Practice.
A lot of pretending. And now, at least the I guess social media, the internet has given a lot of young people at least some semblance of a feeling of belonging, which
plus lots of money.
And there's maybe some financial opportunities. And speaking of which, now
lots of money.
you came across. Okay, so you were approached by the Team Gigi. It sounds like, right?
Yes,
when they were looking
Team
to
Gigi.
tell the story. Okay.
Exactly.
And was there some sort of YouTube Red component already there?
Yeah,
okay,
YouTube Red paid for it.
Okay, so they're the ones that said, "Here we have obviously, if we can tell her story, we have a big hit."
Well, I didn't get to really meet them or see them. I met one of them, the head of, I guess, YouTube Red, just to say hi and meet her, Suzanne Daniels.
She's with YouTube Red?
Yeah. Uh-huh. But, no, I just went along my merry way, and then when they wanted to see a rough cut, I flew to L.A. and showed it to them, and they said, very good, and then I flew back. Mm-hmm. And that for me was exciting because, if they liked it at that stage, the first cut they saw was 2 hours and 5 minutes. So.
And it's dwindled down about 15 minutes or more.
Now it's 91 minutes.
Oh, it's 91 minutes. And what I was going to say...
You're talking about the beginning and YouTube Red.
Well, I know. Just trying to... Anyway, I have in my mind this. I get distracted by myself because I'm thinking, I wonder if
we're talking about money.
Yes, and that could come around because I'm also interested in these kind of choices, rather in terms of, exhibiting, distributing, financing, all those things of the film.
Right. But I also think too that this film now has helped Gigi even more. I mean, she may have a book deal. She may have a TV show. She may be doing something for Revlon as an ambassador.
Right.
I mean,
but she already has had
is
some
opening.
Yeah.
Even more than it was.
And she's obviously very shrewd.
Well, I don't know that she's shrewd, but she's a good businesswoman, and her managers are good.
Okay. Well, and that's important, surrounding yourself.
I mean, she's a control freak, she says. So handing over everything to me and not bothering me and not seeing the film until it was at Sundance was a very, very big thing for her.
I bet.
She had no idea what was in it.
Yeah. Well, that's reality too, because you're not going to. There's always somebody. There's always a boss. Or somebody who you have to report to, even though that wasn't quite your relationship. She was able to control her online presence,
and still does.
Okay, so once again, I'm going to lose my train of thought because for one thing is I wonder if the subscriptions for YouTube, Brett. I'm not sure it's YouTube if it's a subscription based.
It's subscription.
Okay, so I wonder
$9.99 a month.
Okay, they're all like that. The price point seems to work, I guess. Even Filmstruck and
right. The first week, they told me there were 250,000 people.
That's
who viewed it.
That's incredible, right? So they're very happy.
Yes, very happy.
You may get more calls about doing more YouTube.
Very happy.
In my mind, I have this fantasy where this is most people have fantasies about either far more exciting, but that you took Gigi to see a Sharon Jones concert while Sharon was still performing. That you just took her to see a concert, and that somehow these two women met. But not. I'm just. You got very serious. I saw you, literally. I think the day she died, because it was during Doc NYC, and I went to the theater. I was at the theater that night, and I thought for some reason I read something ridiculous like that. I didn't know how sick she was, So I was out of the loop, but so I thought she was going to be there. Even I didn't know things were so dire.
No, she was in. I went to see her. I mean, I went to show the film in Cooperstown, and she was really excited because she had, stayed very nearby there, and she had.
You mean her home was upstate?
No, well, she was staying there, getting her chemotherapy.
Oh, I see.
And everything.
Okay.
And the night I was driving up with her manager, Alex, she was rushed to the emergency room, and I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We went right to the emergency room, and I was there for about, a week,
mm-hmm.
and the place was totally filled for the screening, and it was really hard for all of us not to, burst into tears or to say Sharon's right in the hospital, because people didn't know that she was. And then when I would go and visit her, she was humming with a really clear voice, gospel
mm-hmm.
tune. She couldn't speak, but she was humming.
Huh.
And different dap kings would come and play the guitar, and she would just keep humming and humming.
Was her eyes closed, for instance, during that? Was she kind of out of the...
Open and closed.
Okay.
Open and closed.
In and out of...
Yeah, and you'd come and you'd say, "Hi, it's Barbara," and she'd smile, and her eyes would open, and she'd
mm-hmm.
put her hand out, and you'd hold her hand, and...
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I miss her every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Well,
and the Grammys said two wonderful things. They said Sharon Jones will never be forgotten. And some of the Dap Kings were playing the horns on the Grammys.
In the band, you mean? Or?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And on the stage at
mm-hmm.
the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
And then in memory, they had her singing 100 Days, 100 Nights.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I didn't remember, because I might have tuned in. Not that I have cable, actually, but I should. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. But her story got told.
Her story got told, but I want her back. I want her here. She's so wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, there's the. And
another friend of mine died a month before that, who did the music for Harlan County. Dave Morris,
whose son you said is playing at Metrograph.
At Metrograph,
okay.
And he had brain cancer. And I went to visit him right after Harlan County showed at, the New York Film Festival. And I think he died a week later.
It's the longer we live, right?
Well, we don't want them. These are the good ones. These are the great ones. We want them with us.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like losing a limb. It's like
it is.
It is. I mean, it's hard enough. I assume when the types of personal films. I wouldn't call them all personal documentaries because those you think are usually where filmmakers make a film about themselves, but they are personal in the sense you get inside.
I think intimate.
Intimate is a better word. And then you have to, the project ends, and some projects can go on for a long time because, the lifespan of, festivals and...
Yeah, Sharon Jones went on for a long
theatricals.
time.
It did.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
And also Dave Morris. I did a film called Shelter for Al Jazeera America about veterans, homeless veterans. And he came and he sang for the veterans.
Oh, wow.
And he had been homeless himself for 4 years.
When was that?
When was that film done?
No. When was he? It was just this period of time a while back.
Yeah, quite a while back before he met and fell in love with his wife. So.
That's good.
And she straightened him right out.
I bet.
Yes, she's adorable, Christine.
Okay. Are they like from these parts or
Ohio, Columbus, Ohio?
Oh, okay. Anyway, so
he was from Ivydale, West Virginia, but that's where they ended up living. And he had his own band then. Was his brother, the Morris brothers?
Oh, okay, the Morris brothers. And was the mining company, was that in Virginia or West Virginia?
Kentucky.
That's what I thought. Kentucky. That's what I said. Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
Harlan County.
Not far from Virginia.
Not
Eastern
far
Kentucky
from West
is right
Virginia.
over. They share a border, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
And Tennessee.
I was married in Nashville.
You were?
Yeah. Sadly divorced in New York, but
sorry,
it happens. I'm happily living with someone now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's very, very lovely, and
we wouldn't want you to be lonely.
I'm not. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that because I am prone, and I don't like it. I just want to also respect our time. Okay, so I feel like we've given good, a fair amount of due to Gigi Gorgeous. I do want to. This is Everything. Gigi Gorgeous is the full title, and it is currently. You can currently stream it.
Yes,
at
or
your
you
convenience.
can. Yes, you can, and you can currently wait for some great film festivals which are coming up.
Yeah, because any festival worth their salt is going to want Barbara Kopple to come because she's she'll fill up the room for pizza.
Well, I think Gigi Gorgeous.
She might do that too. If she comes, does she do a lot of those?
She likes it.
I'm sure
she loves it.
She obviously
loves
connecting
the live
too.
events.
Yeah. No. I mean, how much do you want to sit in front of a computer camera
and not really know what's going on? No, she loved it.
Yeah, it's important, right?
There she
how do
was
you gauge?
At Sundance with 600 people.
Yeah.
Never seeing her film before, and loved every second of it. She was so happy.
And I'm going to guess that you really probably loved even more the appearances at the festivals where they're especially more the film festivals that are especially more part of the local communities, and where it's not just the choir coming, it's the
I love
community.
It all.
Yeah,
I love it all.
Yeah. But so you can watch that at keep an eye on your local festivals.
This had a wonderful mix of of film festival people, the community, and also Gigi followers.
Oh, right.
So
which is
it was a whole mix.
Right. No matter what town she goes to, they're going to come out and for sure, right, for that opportunity to meet Barbara Kopple. I'm sorry, Gigi Gorgeous.
That's right. Gigi Gorgeous.
I'm the kind who feels like if I can go to an event and run into you, that's for me exciting. So and
thank you.
Of course, and it's great to see that Harlan still is having endless lifespan too. And just to give people, remind people that probably after it will be done, but should be spoken about that 4 screenings was shot on film, of course, back in the 70s, and it's being projected at the Metrograph in the East Lower East Side on film, it's a great theater.
35 millimeters,
and it's a great theater.
Ludlow Street.
On Ludlow Street, it's a great theater, beautiful screen, great projection, run by passionate film lovers. So it's fantastic.
And Tomorrow night. It's the first night.
Yeah.
7
and you're going to be
o'clock.
there. And you said that
Jack Morris,
who's Dave Morris's son,
is going to be singing, coming all the way from Ohio.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I know. And like, so I got to get my kid there. He's going to L.A. to be with his mother on Sunday morning, but that gives us enough time.
Well, Friday night.
Yeah.
He can sleep late Saturday.
That's right.
Okay.
And I did want to mention also Hot Type, which is a recent documentary, which I really enjoyed, which is a great, timely piece, not only because of The Nation is people need to subscribe to right now to The Nation if they haven't before, more than ever, because there's not a whole lot of sources of real journalism anymore.
And also the Nation isn't afraid of anyone.
Yeah.
And they say when things are bad for the country, things are good for the nation.
Yeah.
Because they get right underneath what's happening.
Oh, I like that.
And,
that's clever.
Yeah.
And I learned
Katrina vanden Heuvel is just so brilliant.
She's
so
the
smart.
editor.
She's the editor.
And she's fantastic of The Nation because she started as an intern essentially, or as an administrative assistant or something, right?
Exactly.
And her entire career has been at The Nation, and now she's like a powerhouse of a executive public
and brilliant and beautiful.
All the above.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully we don't have to wait another 200 episodes. I could just do every episode with you and be just fine with that.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, done. We'll try. I have to follow you around to a lot of festivals. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.